morning. We'll call this commission meeting to order. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Western Commissioner Johnny Williams.
Present.
Eastern Commissioner Bradley Jackson.
Present.
Presiding Commissioner Lou Morris.
Present. If you'll join me with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much. Today we've got a pretty heavy agenda. We're going to try to keep on schedule. First thing we need to do is to approve the consent agenda. Today's agenda, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to have Mr. Teague go first, and then we'll have Ms. Amber go second. We have no financials, and we have no minutes to approve. We just need a motion to approve the consent agenda as stated.
I would make a motion to approve the consent agenda and also would like to request under other items for consideration that amendments 3 and 4 of the county zoning regulations be postponed and brought back at a work study session for review.
Second that.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So that will be moved, and we'll arrange for a work study session on amendments 3 and 4 on planning and zoning. Okay, I think we're ready.
Okay, this will be short and sweet, guys. Some notable projects that we've finished this quarter. We fabricated a custom chute with a cardboard compactor down at the recycle building. They'd originally bought some bins that took on their porch and dump. It wasn't really working for them, so at our cost we bought a small piece of metal and used some scrap and made that foldable chute so they could still slide the door open and get it out of the way. Installed that and it's working well. We also had a request from Phil M. Tower to cut some handles in the bins on the generator truck, otherwise known as BART. That was for both employee and volunteer safety, as they'd have to step up and reach 8 or 9 feet in the air trying to hold on to a flat piece of aluminum metal and nothing really to hold on to. It was afraid somebody's going to fall and get hurt, so we took care of that. No cost, it was just labor. We also took over de-liming all the water heaters in the jail. We used to pay a company to come out and do that. It was about 8 hours of labor, plus our guys had to be there anyway. They watched, they learned. We bought the pump, now we're taking care of that in-house, saving us a lot of money. Jail sewer project is complete. We're still waiting on the final as-built plans, so we don't have that final bill yet from Great River Engineering, but once we get that, the commission can see the exact cost of the jail sewer.
And everything stayed under budget on that?
Everything stayed under budget. The last meeting, Jacob Dean from Great River was in here. He was estimating we was going to be about $70,000 under budget. Let's see. We installed power in the floor plug in the commission office. We had requests from some of the office holders and some other people that they wanted power in here, not just IT under this table. We also installed rechargeable flashlights in the historic courthouse basement and break room. That was requested by several staff members as we had that tornado issue earlier this year. We lost power, it got dark down in the basement, so they wanted that as a backup. So we funded that and put those in. Those are estimated to last around 10 years. They are high quality flashlights. We also assembled and installed the CARE Act sign over at the new campus building. We bought a piece of aluminum, 10 foot by 5 foot, painted it to match the trim and got that up. I'm just trying to help out over there. We laid down some 1.5 inch rock at the service road. You might call it a path, back to the generator at the new campus, so if it did rain over that clay, we could get in and out there with fuel trucks. And we also are going to pay for that rock as a service. Some HVAC notable issues we've had, not many so far this year, knock on wood. We had 2 condenser fans on 2 different units go down in the jail, and a 600 volt power switch. We did have to train to install that switch just because of the danger, and if we'd hooked that up wrong or made a mistake, that would be a $70,000 mistake, so we'll let them get that. We also had to call Train in for some VAV units in the Justice Center. This required them plugging into 4 different circuit boards to identify the actual problem with their program, which I don't have access to. They did identify it. They replaced a transformer, a fan motor, and had to reprogram a circuit board and thermostat. They were all reading 5 to 8 degrees off. So they got that working, and now we're not freezing people out anymore. We've done some erosion control over at the new campus. There's required a couple of days of moving topsoil, grass seeding. That was to protect our rubber track that was laid. We were having a lot of rain there, and it was undercutting and causing some issues. So we went and jumped in front of Emery Sapp & Sons and took care of that just to protect our investment. General maintenance continues. I attached on the email all the work order requests. If you guys want to read me that. Also, not on the report, I'd like to note my thanks to Sheriff Brad Cole for giving us a motor out of a wreck truck he had to replace the bad motor in a maintenance truck. It had approximately 40,000 miles on it. We did test the motor. We did all the labor in-house, swapping the motors. I'd like to thank Wendell Cummings. He does a lot of mechanic work on the side and does racing on the weekends. So he volunteered to oversee that, and Kit and I and him, under his guidance, we replaced that motor. Motor's been in our new truck replaced the one it's in now, for over a month. We haven't had any issues with it. So we ended up spending about $600, and $300 of that was to buy a cherry picker. We have a quote from Chevy here, and they quoted a new crate engine, parts and labor installed, $10,762.46. So Lindell saved both my department and the county as a whole lot of money, and I'd just like to note that and thank him and Brad Cole for their contribution.
That's awesome.
Have any questions?
Comments, questions?
No, it was good work. Thank you.
I'll just tell you, Mr. Richard, always you and your staff do a great job. You just look around. We get, there's times when I walk in here in the early mornings, and I'll hear people talking outside about how pretty the campus grounds looks, the courthouse lawn looks, the flowers, the yard being mowed, everything. So you guys fix a lot of things, and we appreciate it. So great job. Okay, next thing on the agenda is employee second quarter of the quarter. So I will. That's right. Do you want to come up here, or do you want me to go ahead and do this? Okay. Well, we have, I think, just a great selection for the employee of the quarter, and I'm going to read this to you. It says, we're proud to announce that Tori Brashears has been selected as our employee of the quarter, serving as the Christian County Jail as both chaplain and commissary officer. Officer Brashears exemplifies dedication, compassion, and integrity in all that he does. His calm, steady presence and ability to connect with individuals from all walks of life foster a respectful and hopeful environment for both staff and inmates. His professionalism, his empathy, and strong work ethic make him truly deserving of this recognition. So if you'll come forward, we're going to present you. How many years have you been with the department?
Year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, well, very good. I'm going to let Commissioner Jackson, I'm still not walking as well as I want to.
Why don't you go up there and you
But,
can...
yeah, we'll do this, and we have the certificate employee of the quarter, and so we've got that we're going to give you. We also have a gift card, so don't lose that. Keep it in the envelope.
We used some of it already,
You
but
can have
just for still a little bit of
Just for
balance on it.
Well, no one Commissioner Jackson, that's probably true.
She wants a picture.
Take
Just
care.
add that to the evidence file.
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Appreciate you
Well,
guys.
you're not in trouble. So no, we appreciate the job that you do.
Thank you, sir.
We have a lot of great employees in the county, so when you get to be employee of the quarter,
I had no idea that this was
you're
here.
outstanding. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Okay?
Happy day.
All right, next item on the agenda is Purchasing Manager, Ms. Kim, and Highway Administrator, Ms. Beals. We've got an emergency procurement we'll deal with. Good morning.
Good morning. So, good morning, Commissioners. And if you want to go ahead and talk a little bit about this.
So during our last windstorm a few weeks ago, we had a tree down across, essentially across the intersection of Ellison and Braden Road in Common One. It was more than our crews could handle at the time. And luckily, Top Limb out of Sparta was available to help immediately. So we went ahead and asked them to come out, but of course we didn't have time to do the purchase order, which triggered the emergency procurement. I think we did a not to exceed of $5,000, and it came in about half that.
$2,800.
So that is short story, but the whole story.
And then once Miranda told me about this, I immediately called the presiding commissioner to let him be aware of what we were doing. So we'd like you to approve this emergency procurement.
Okay, yeah, and I'm glad it was half the price, so that we had to get it done. So anyway, need a motion to approve the emergency procurement.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is a contract reward, renewal for professional engineering
I'm going
services.
to sign that one.
Okay.
On that one. Right.
Uh,
Yes, Commissioner. Sir?
Okay.
So this is professional engineering services. There's 4 companies that currently have on professional engineering services. It's Cook, Flatt, and Strobel Engineers, CFS, Great River Engineering, Olson, and OWN. We've had them on contract since 2021. This is their last renewal, and so I believe that you're very happy with them.
Yes. We've done a significant amount of work with all 4. Their first task as part of this original contract were the ARPA stormwater projects, where we divided the county into 4 sections. Each one of them got a section. We're still currently working through those ARPA projects, which they're almost complete, but some of those are design related, so we have through the end of next year. And of course some other projects that are not ARPA related, but we have continually used all 4 firms, so I'm happy to recommend this last year renewal, and then early next year we'll put out another request for qualifications and see what happens.
And this is just the renewal of the contracts. This doesn't mean we're giving them work. It just means that
It's
they're
just
on that
renewal
list
of-
to send. So,
Correct.
yeah.
Renewal of the annual. Each one requires a work authorization under that to allow work to begin.
And what's the date on which that contract officially expires?
So Great Rivers expires July 21st,
Yep.
and the other 3 expire in August.
So that's only 4 days.
Yeah, and they're different because we had to push the Great River approval at the time because they were designing the campus. So we had to hurry up and get them on contract so there was no expiration. And the other 3 didn't have any current projects with us, so we could work that out a little bit later.
And then also, as far as the increases, OWNs collectively came out to be about a 6.8% increase overall. CFS ended up being an 8.19% increase, but in their fairness, they were the lowest price in the very beginning, so they did try to catch up. Olson did a 1% increase overall, and Great River made no changes from last year.
Okay, very good. I need a motion to approve this renewal.
I'll make a motion to approve the renewal.
Thank you. Need a second?
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miranda.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is, we tabled it to a work study, so we're going to move to the next item.
I loaded it up.
Resource Manager, Management Director, Mr. Weisenhofer.
Good morning.
Good morning. Campus Development Project.
Supplement to what I gave you on Monday,
Thank you.
the 12 o'clock deadline. Kind of leaves us with a gap in activities.
Do you have an extra copy? Thank you.
Okay. So, things are moving forward, especially with regard to the clinic. This week, they completed the flooring installation. We've got doors installed. They've got the interior room signage, exam room such and such, and signage for all the rooms. I believe that the electrical contractor is just about done putting in all the light switches and outlets. We are looking forward to the delivery of the countertops, which we thought might potentially be a real holdup, but I think they're going to be here in plenty of time so that we can get the sinks and the exam rooms installed and ready to go. Our architect with GHN, as part of our meeting on Tuesday with DeWitt, did a walkthrough and identified a few things on the front end to get touched up or changed, so that we're not doing everything at the last minute. Electric installation has been a really big issue. We did get a generator identified and delivered to the site, and they're going to connect that up hopefully today. Both Spire and Liberty are doing trenching behind the building, which is an area between where the generator sits and the building, so connecting the wires in that area just wasn't a good idea quite yet. But that trenching work began on Monday, moved really quickly, and I credit the progress to the fact that Richard and Lendl are doing the backfill work on this. I don't think Lendl was aware of what he was getting into, and we owe them a big thank you. I mean, Lendl's been standing in a ditch with a shovel and sand for the last 3 days, and well, Richard drives the skid steer. But big thank you to those guys for helping make this happen as quickly as possible. Spire went back to work basically yesterday, laying the final stretch of gas line. Looks to me like they're pretty well done, so that's good. Liberty Connect, as far as the fiber installation goes, they will begin their trenching and installation of conduit from 25th over to the building next week. They confirmed via email that that they believe that they'll be able to meet a hard deadline of July 31st. Of course, barring a major weather event or something that can keep them from doing work, so that's great. As far as the rest of the site, ESS really hasn't had a lot of activity this week. I think that's partially due to all the other heavy equipment operating to do the installation. But we anticipate that the final paving of the road and also the parking area is going to happen in the very near future. As far as change orders and possible added costs on the horizon, my intention was to present a revised change order today. I'm going to ask you to postpone that. Did not get the actual numbers until late yesterday afternoon. Auditor Dent was not in the office this morning to get her signature on it, so I don't feel it's appropriate to present that to you, and I think we can wait a week to get that done. And I believe by that time, we may have worked out a way to obtain a credit for the value of some excess topsoil, which may bring the total of that change order down to almost nothing. So that's a good thing. Don't see any other major expenses on the horizon. Certainly, I think it's unrealistic to expect that we won't have some minor things pop up between now and the completion of the project, but nothing major. I did include some recent photos of what things look like out there. You can see the fellow's got the CARE sign up on the building, looks nice. You can see the flooring and the doors. All the lights, ceiling tiles and whatnot are in. So things are really looking great over there. Happy to try and answer any questions you might have.
So as of now, they're expecting to open the clinic at the deadline time, as of currently.
Right. We are expecting to be able to turn over the building to CARE on August 4th, which is a Monday. And their timeline between then and when they actually see patients is up to them.
Okay, very good. Good report. Any comment or questions?
None at this time.
Okay. Appreciate the updates. These are really working well when we're getting these weekly updates. So appreciate that. All right. And then also, I guess while you're here, I know we got an offer, so we'll figure out a closed session time before next Tuesday, because that's when that expires.
Friday or Monday or something.
On another lot, maybe either Friday or Monday. We'll see what we can do. Okay. All righty.
We could postpone
Yeah.
the next item. That would be.
Yeah. Next item we'll postpone it. Okay. All righty. Okay. I think Miss Amber, you're up. We're going to do a quarterly report for Employee Services Director.
I emailed it to you guys, but I brought hard copies if you want.
Yeah, I've got it. Thank you.
If you want them.
I'll take one.
Copy.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a copy, but I'm sure you probably have it. Okay, this is our second quarter. I can just run through it for you guys. I will say that these numbers for our positions currently open has changed in the last week, but that's why I try to wait till the last minute to send you guys this to give you accurate numbers. But what we've done the second quarter is we did a biometric screening. We helped host that with United Healthcare. A lot of HR's time has been spent with CARE ETC setting that up. There's a lot of work on the backside for that. We have to make all of the we set them up with United Healthcare, so when people go there, they can then if they go to their primary physician, they'll be able to access what happened at the clinic. So we had to set those up. We also had to do billing so we can still track it. We had to set up workers' comp, making sure that we understood all of that. We had to set up our POET testing, which was our post-offer employment test. We had to set up drug screening, which it's all sounds that as I run through all this, but everything's very tedious because you have to. But now that it's done, we're there. At this point, we are working with the marketing team to roll that out to employees. But with the date unknown, it's been a little bit difficult. But we are starting that next week, and I had all of the signage changed to grand opening of September 20. So that's kind of where we're at, because I thought that would be the safest. And even if we can open a little bit sooner, I'm going to say the grand opening this September, so we can host that. And actually yesterday, I was at a meeting, and Chris Russell, he said, and I'm sorry, I do know your name, I just couldn't think for a minute, but he said that he would host a ribbon, help us do a ribbon cutting for that, which I thought was very nice. And he said he would help us with that. Another thing on that, we had to set up our tax exempt status so that Carrie TC can start ordering prescriptions and doing different, it's a lot. But they've been very good. We have had we've had weekly meetings with them all this quarter, and we're ready to move forward. It's getting to the end, and we're getting excited. I did conduct an independent salary survey of first-class counties and every county that touches us, first-class counties, some of our peer counties, and then some of the cities that but we lose employees too, or they lose to us, so we always try to make sure. I do have those results, which I'll be presenting to you guys, but that was this quarter. We participated in a safety survey with MAM with the Highway Department focus. They came back with no formal recommendations, which is about as good. I mean, can't get any better than that. Did a great job. And we've had some of the lowest losses that we've had in 6 years, so on the workers' comp side, we're really doing well. We did renew that this quarter. That was quite a bit of work to get to that point. You have to do a lot of applications. You have to do applications with people who aren't going to talk to you, but you still have to do the work. I did present at the Missouri Auditors Conference. I created a training called County HR 101, and it went very well, which was nice. But not all counties have HR directors, so some of them just have clerks that were put in the position, and some of them do have HR people, but it's nice to be able to all be on the same page, and it was fun to share that information. The rest, was stuff we always do. It's one of the funny things is when we do have a new employee, Tony, and she's doing great. She came to us from O'Reilly's benefits. I told Debbie too, I said we typically don't have very many FMLAs, like maybe 5 all last year, and right now we're sitting at 15. So I feel like I jinxed us, but it's a lot of work. A lot of people outsource that. That's how much work that is, but we've got it under control. She's doing a great job. We processed 13 new hires this quarter. We continue to do one-on-one new hire orientations, and then we do one-on-one benefit orientations as well, so we make sure everybody understands their benefits. They're much more likely to utilize them if you do the one-on-ones. We completed successfully our random drug testing for the quarter. We just did employee of the quarter. Recruitment, we are down. 174 is about the lowest number I've ever received in applications. It's across the board. I don't really know what I'm going to do to fix that, except for try to get on more websites and start. We also, Sheriff's Department has started to participate in some where they're going to meet with different high schools, different college. I mean, they're starting to go do those. I think that HR will try to get in on some of those as well, just to get in front of people, the job fairs. Just thinking about anything we can do to get in front of people. I usually do free ads everywhere, which has worked in the past. I may have to start paying for ads, but it is getting more competitive. But we still managed to hire 13 people.
Do you feel like pay is the leading thing to make people not apply?
I mean, it's a factor. I don't think it's number one, but it's definitely a factor. I feel like there's not as many people looking for a job right now because our hits that we have are low. Like I can tell every time someone's clicked to even read the job description before they even get to the pay, because that's step 2. But we're not even securing those clicks. It's just down. We have 50 positions open is what I put on here, but actually as of today, we have 18. That's all for any questions on HR.
Any comments, questions? Very good.
Next is purchasing. Kim and Janine are always busy. They're constantly looking for ways to save and working on things. You can see that she's had another busy quarter. We list all of the RFPs, ITBs, new contracts, contract renewals. One of the things that she started doing last year was listing all of our surplus items, so you can see that we are actively putting those online and getting money for things that we're no longer using. So that is something that is valuable to us. She put on here an update on MAP, and then if you look at the National Institute of Public Procurement, Kim was elected to the vice chair to the Leadership Development Committee. So we're very proud of her. And she will be learning a lot and sharing a lot of good information, which is just invaluable to the county. That is it for purchasing. Moving on to IT. You can see what their completed items were for the quarter. They still they managed to do all of that while receiving 141 service desk tickets, and there's still people who are not counted in that service desk tickets, and that's because I just call. And so they're very helpful. There's also captains and other elected officials who just call, and they come over and they help last minute. So that number is not 100% accurate. You can see what they're still in progress doing right now. Also not listed on here. The Senate Bill 190 Excel sheet went down, and John built them a new one. So definitely I have a great team. My employees are just phenomenal, so I appreciate your time. If you have any questions, though, let me know.
Comment, questions?
No problem.
Is 255, that seems like a higher number than, seemed like we were at 235 at some time, and then, is this a pretty high number for us?
I think the highest we have been at was 260. 235 may have been early last year.
Yeah.
We've been in the 240, 260 range for the last year.
Yeah. Okay. And we're not getting a lot of applications to come in on our position for the commission or the...
And I actually ran an ad for you. But what I did on that one is I did a joint ad for legal assistance, and then I directed them to the website because we have one open in the prosecutor's office and we have one open here. They're going to the prosecutor's office. I don't know if it's because it's listed first, but that's where they're applying. So what Carrie's going to do is we're going to try to look through them, make sure that they may be interested in both, and they just want the prosecutor, but I'm going to try to separate those out.
The administrative assistant part of that, is it separate, or are we just listing it as the other?
No, I listed it in there. I put
Okay.
legal assistant, and then underneath it, and
Gotcha.
all of the duties, it says will act as the executive assistant. We'll have executive assistant duties for the commission office, and I listed some. I mean, we wrote the job description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's in there.
I was just explaining.
So, yes, it's in there. But I do think that because I did one ad, I think that they're coming in and then just going to that one. But we'll work on it. But I cannot, I mean, you can look back at all of these. There's times where I tell you we've had 500-600 applications that we've sorted through. I don't think I've ever had one as low as it is. Minus the holidays. Typically your fourth quarter is when you're low. But right now I can't tell you why.
Well, and I do. Now that we're live on YouTube, we have a lot of people that I appreciate everyone being here today live, but on YouTube people are going to see this, and I just want the county to know that you do have some great staff. I mean, I can't imagine a better purchasing agent and purchasing department than what this county has. And I also just had a coffee club meeting with the collector, the assessor, and the clerk that's here, and making some changes that we're going to bring back to the commission in the next couple of commission meetings. And they really talked very highly of John, that was helping them on some software issues on Senate Bill 190. And I think that's extremely important. So when you think about Bill and John and Mitch doing a tremendous job, just 3 people doing it for the entire county, it really makes me feel good. So kudos to you and the people underneath you. I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah, I agree. Good team.
All right, now, appreciate that update. Now, the last item I think we have on the agenda is with Ms. Paula, the county clerk. We're talking about sunshine request procedures. We just kind of, and I've talked to Mark, our in-house attorney. We've all kind of talked about some changes and things like that. So this is just a process.
Yeah. I know whenever we changed it 2 or 3 months ago that everything was coming to me and getting all the sunshine requests, and I'm sending them out. It just seems like things are not working smoothly. When I send them out, I'm not for sure if those are getting answered, and so it's going to come back on me that they weren't answered because I received them. I know Mark is putting a sunshine policy in place. He's got that written up, and I met with him the other day, and we were just talking through what we needed to do to be able to possibly track all these sunshine requests, and that's where I talked to John, IT John, and he thinks he can build something where when it comes to me, I can forward it to the correct person, and it's all in the kind of a database, I guess. And when they answer it, they can mark it off. And in the future, if anyone says they did not get something, you can go back in there and look and see when everything was possibly submitted and answered. So we're in the process, because the other day I had a sunshine request that had to be answered on Friday, a response, and I responded to him, but I didn't have all the information from another department with a quote. So it's just kind of all over at the moment. So we're trying to update it.
Sounds like that would be a very good fix, having a system that can.
Well, I've had companies call and want to sell me, to come in and sell me software to do that.
Sure.
It's just like, no, I'm not interested right now. But if our own IT person can do it, that's
amazing.
That's great.
Yeah.
And he did fix the Senate Bill 190 program for them, and he said it would be something like that. So, but that's where we're at.
Well, no, and I think we've had a rash of sunshine requests. It may slow down again. It probably goes in cycles, but we have had more than usual, and when you start having more than usual, we need to make sure our procedures are up to date and they can be functional and working. We can't put all the pressure on you. We need to make sure all the departments are working together. How close are we to getting that procedure?
Well, the procedure is for, we've discussed it, Paul and I discussed it. What needs to be done currently is to have some responsible liaison in each of the departments so that she has someone she can contact who's going to get back with her to let us know that this has actually happened or is in the process of happening. So we need to coordinate with everyone else to make sure this is done properly. I'm glad to hear that John's in on this now, so that's going to be a big part of it. And once we've got a link so that everyone can communicate back and forth, it shouldn't take long at all. We're going to have to change our website somewhat because we need to update our information there. We're also going to need a written policy. Now, I'm hearing that one was started on in the past. I've seen a draft of it, but I haven't seen the original. And I learned recently that there may be some people who used to work here who may have some information, so I'm contacting them to see if there's something out there that we already have in place in some way that we can work with.
Okay. Do we, so is that, are we going to be ready to look at that new policy procedure?
I can give you copies today.
And we can start to review it?
We can start with it.
Okay.
I gave a rough draft earlier, but it's been revised and updated to make sure we're compliant with all statutes and statutory requirements. So that's been done. And the changes to the website, we've got a draft of that too, so I can send you that as well. So,
Have you been in contact with all the elected officials
not all
on this? Would it be advantageous for us to have a roundtable meeting with everybody just to get anybody's feedback as far as, I know that in the past, we've had some elected officials get sunshine requests and just automatically answer them. The problem with that is we have no retention of record. And we need to have this process in place to where it all funnels through one direction in and then funnels right back out through that same person. You don't necessarily, well, as long as you have all of the information, maybe it doesn't have to funnel back
Well,
from
that's what
you.
I'm thinking. John's program will, okay, it's sent to so-and-so, and they're going to answer it, and they're going to check the box that they answered on this day, because I don't want everyone's information. I don't need everyone's, but it's going to be in that program where they answer. Because someone calls and wants permits from this date to this date, I don't have that stuff. And I know planning and zoning has it. Why send it to me when they can answer it? You know what I mean?
I guess my only concern
I'm
is
getting all the sunshine requests.
you're the custodian of records.
I don't have those records.
I know, but once the request has been answered, now it's easy to fall back that you at least have that documentation, I guess, in some form or fashion. As the custodian of record, I think that's really the way it should be, that the answer's coming back through you, or at least you have.
Well, and speaking with Austin Bax, he said that, like, Greene County has their own, the sheriff's department is their own, and they answer their own. Prosecutor is saying they answer their own. So, I mean, because there's certain things that can't be sent through, giving out sunshine requests. And he said that's how they have it set up, as the sheriff does their own. I mean, it could come to me and I can forward the request, but they answer their own, same as the prosecutors. So, I mean,
I think the idea of a roundtable is a good one.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody needs to discuss how we best handle this. I think the disconnect here is that if we have this done by IT in a proper way, there'll be a central source knowing what has been done and what still needs to be done.
Yeah.
Just making
That
sure
way
it's
it relieves
checks
all
and
some of that
balances.
responsibility. But at least we have a central location where we know this has been handled properly.
I guess there just
I think
has to
the
be
roundtable is probably the best way.
There just has to be the checks and balances where somebody can go back and look and make sure it actually got finished out.
Yeah.
So,
Ms. Needles?
Yeah.
It would be, I'm not doing this to put more on John, but it would be,
Are you sure?
it would be, I think, advantageous if that program can somehow, like when you click a submit button or publish or whatever, that it sends it from like the agenda request, or not agenda, but sunshine request email. Because I think part of the issue, everything coming into Paula, but then if I send it from my email to someone, they're just going to respond to me. And now I then have to forward that back to Paula. So if there was a way for it to come from some generic email at the end.
I think he talked about something like that.
That's
I
my
told him
only
and Bill
concern.
just to think about it and, run with it and just get back with me, but I told them kind of what I wanted, and they're like, oh, yeah.
Because people don't typically do one sunshine and they're done.
No.
They respond and keep responding. So if we can keep them out of our direct
It's
emails.
just- One day, the whole day, I messed with sunshine requests. I didn't get to do anything else. And I've got lots of other stuff to do in my office, to sit and do sunshine requests all day long.
Some people will send in like 7, and then you have to respond on them individually. And she's being kind because it was me that was late on the emails to her. Because It was a sunshine request to planning and zoning, but there was a portion of it that was IT. And so before I left, I saw Sayre had responded and Bill had responded. So I thought it was done, but it was not, because they were thinking that I would give the official response. And so that's where, if we had a spread, I mean, like, if I could have looked in there and was like, oh, no response, I got to, but it should be on us to look at that. I mean, she shouldn't be having to.
No, I agree. So is there any officials, any elected officials that don't get sunshine requests? Can you think of any?
I haven't had any
For
with Kelly's
anybody
office
potentially
at the
could.
moment. I mean, they're basically sheriff, I think prosecutor, and planning and zoning. And
Are the ones that get the most?
But IT's, well, I get them, but they're different, because
Right.
they're not, I mean, I end up having the same responsive. I mostly have closed records. But so anything employment's going to go to me. But almost all of them will have a component of IT. So that's where it gets hard too.
Well, I'll work with you, and I agree. We need to have the discussion, work study session, whatever you want to call it. We need to get all the parties together. We sit around. We've got our in-house counsel. We're going to figure this out, how to make it more efficient and time efficient too, and compliance. All those things we got to do. And it just seems like, to me, I don't know if this is going to always be this way, but it seems like right now we're at a time where there's a lot of people that seem to want to request things, and it is very time consuming. And the commission's getting more of them too. So I don't know if that's going to stop or not, but I think it's time to get our new policy together. We work on that, work with John, and thankful that he can help, just like he's helped us with Senate Bill 190 on trying to come up with a system that really is going to save time and be efficient. So we can do that. I'll work with you. We'll set up a time in the next week or two that we can really get this done. And John will be in it. Everybody should be invited.
I do want to say for the record, there's not one that we haven't responded to.
correct.
I mean, nothing is not in compliance.
Right.
I think she's
Right.
responded
Right.
to all of them.
But it's been a struggle sometimes, and so we don't need to struggle it. We need to just get it done.
Yeah, so we're in
And
compliance.
Yeah.
It's just hard on
Yeah.
that side.
Yeah, we
Sure.
always want
And
to.
that's my biggest concern, is just making sure that every single one of the elected officials has all their cares and concerns addressed. No better way to do that than sitting around the table with each other. That every single one of the elected officials are on board, follow the policy as presented once we finalize it. And then once we finalize it, that it's efficient, where we don't have that, because it's going to fall back on you, right?
Right.
You're the custodian of records. If somebody doesn't answer in a timely fashion, it falls back on you, not necessarily them. So I want to protect you, and that's why I'm suggesting that it funnels through to you and it funnels back from you, but if it works,
And that's what I was
okay,
telling.
tracking everything
Yeah, that's
and
what I was
coming from
telling
a
John,
generic.
that I don't know if they've answered it, and I've got 4 that it's like, okay, yes, they have been looked at, but I don't want to have to go back and keep tabs on people. So, yeah, if we could get that set up in the system, and everyone could look at it. And John said, you just need to know who's answering for which department. I do know who does it in Sheriff's Office, I know who does it in Planning and Zoning. So, I mean, I do know who the people are, like, the Assessor's Office, I'm assuming one person would do it, and the Recorder's Office. I just would probably need to know who is going to answer those when I forward them to them.
Mhm.
All right, very good. Well, we'll schedule that maybe even next week. We want to get that done, get our first meeting done before the end of this month, and make sure that we've got a good plan going forward. It may take more than one meeting,
Oh,
but
right.
we're going to see what
Right.
happens.
Well-
But we'll definitely have a meeting as soon as we can, hopefully next week. I'll try to help schedule that, okay? All right.
Thank you.
Anything else? Anyway, appreciate everything that you guys are doing. So, okay, the last thing we have on the agenda, I believe, is communications. Do you gentlemen have anything that you need to communicate? I've got a couple of things I'll just say real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, the only thing I think that, I appreciate everybody doing this meeting today at 8:30. We're doing that because we have a 10 o'clock out by Creative Audio. We're going to do groundbreaking for the Frisco overpass on 65, the trail. So they wanted us out there for that. I think we're all going to be out there for that. But I got to thinking, now that I'm able to get dressed a little quicker and everything's working better, I think is 9 o'clock a good time to start having commission meetings and not do 9:30? Are you guys okay
I
with
prefer 9 over 9:30.
I'm here anyway.
Okay, so we're going to try to do our commission meetings at 9. We're going to try to keep consistent. What happens is when we do go up and down, 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30, and stuff like that, it gets confusing to the public and to even some of the elected officials. So we're going to try to consistently do the meetings at 9 o'clock.
That's starting next week.
Starting next week. And I think that will help. There may be a time when we have to change it. We'll try to notify people ahead of time. But I think 9 o'clock will work for all of us, and we'll do that. This afternoon we have a closed session, and I will have from Austin. We will need to sign the order that we just did with Holder Road. The three of us need to sign that. We need to then give it to Ms. Paula, and we'll figure out how we're going to notify the people on both sides of what's required, and we'll see if we can get some help with that. So other than that, I don't think I have any other communications other than we do need to take care of that this afternoon. We'll get our signatures. We'll take that back up to the clerk's office, and we've changed our time to 9 o'clock, trying to make it more permanent. Okay? Consistent. If that's no other items,